Welcome to SplitSecond. If you want to buy the best sleeves or other magic-related accessories, head down to Dragon Shield using the affiliate link below. This week we bring you another video full of Dominaria United commanders. Diogo put together a mid-range stormy list, attempting to control the board early on and then win with Citadel or Breach. Bal tried to assemble a Ramses Assassin Lord deck, based on a few ways to attempt to kill a specific opponent the fastest and therefore win the game. Elder loves them dockside loops, so he created a Jodah list, attempting to loop Bahrain to find Dina's Soul Steeper and Elas il-Kor. Wait, Elas? Isn't that Rodrigo's commander? It is, and he is looking to kill his opponents by looping Lunin Relic Warden or Abdel Adrian with his commander on the field. Diogo is going first and he mulliganed down to 6, finding a Verdant Catacombs and Wooded Foothills for lands, Eye Diamond for breach stuff, while Magic Surge is a new piece of removal able to hit enchantments. You find some prisoners is semi-card advantage as well as light up the stage. He sent a Braid to the bottom. Bal also mulliganed down to 6, finding a Morphic Pool and Spire of Industry for lands, with a Talisman of Dominance for ramp, Brainstorm and Limdol's Vault for some card manipulation and digging potential, and he is testing Shouldered as killing potential with Peer, as well as good constant drain to hopefully help kill a player faster. He sent Ruthless Reaper to the bottom. Elder mulliganed once and kept a rather risky one-lander with a single Verdant Catacombs for lands, but with another land he can wheel on turn 2, or worst case scenario on turn 3 thanks to both Hierarchs for ramp. If his plans change, he has Opposition Agent to stacks the board, and Imperial Recruiter to find Dockside or Bahrain Master Wizard. Cyclonic Rift is always good to have at hand. Finally, Rodrigo kept his first 7 with a Windswept Teeth and Caves of Coilers for lands, Vampiric Tutor to pivot his game plan, perhaps finding his ad nauseam, as he already has Angel's Grace at hand, and Culling the Weak for ramp. Esper Sentinel and Serra Ascendant are both great turn 1 plays. Which one will he prefer? Ready for the match? Diogo starts the game with a Wooded Foothills and casts his Lion's Eye Diamond, ending his turn. Bal plays a Morphic Pool and passes. Elder plays a Verdant Catacombs and cracks it. In response, Diogo cracks his Wooded Foothills just to annoy Bal's editing. He gets a tapped Blood Crypt and then Elder finds his Tropical Island to then cast his Ignoble Hierarch, passing the turn. Rodrigo plays his Windswept Teeth and cracks it for a Scrubland. He then casts an Esper Sentinel. In response, Bal casts his Brainstorm, only to feel sadder as he just found a crit with it, which could have been used to cast his Talisman. Sentinel resolves and we're back to Diogo's turn. He plays a Verdant Catacombs and cracks it for a Badlands. He casts a Fellwar Stone, triggering Sentinel and he can't pay, ending his turn. Bal draws, plays a Spiral of Industry and casts his Mana Crypt, deeply considering if he pays for the Esper Sentinel. He ends up not paying, so he can now cast his Shoulder the Apocalypse. They all laugh as they can now slowly shock Rodrigo with each non-creature spell cast. An Elder who gets to his turn is not so sad for not having found a land to cast a turn 2 wheel. He does take 2 at his draw step and then casts his other Hierarch, and attacks with Ignoble towards Rodrigo, twice exalted. Rodrigo untaps and regrets as he didn't cast Serra Ascendant on turn 1. He draws and takes 2 from Sheldred. He plays a Command Tower and casts his Mox Diamond, discarding his Caves of Coilers, and then casts his commander Elas il-Kor, Sadistic Pilgrim, ending his turn. Diogo draws and takes 2 from Sheldred. He plays a Mountain and casts You Find Some Prisoners, targeting Bal, triggering Sentinel and not paying, so Rodrigo draws, losing 2 more life. Diogo finds 2 lands and an Etrata, and he chooses the Mikokor to be played until his next turn. He then casts his Light Up the Stage, with its Spectacle cost, thanks to Sheldred. He exiles the top 3 but decides to pass with a Red Blast up. Bal draws and takes 3 from the Crypt. He draws and gains 2 from Sheldred. He casts a Talisman of Dominance, triggering Sentinel and not paying, starting to have an opponent chosen for his strategy. Rodrigo draws, losing 2 life from Sheldred. He then attacks Diogo with Sheldred and passes. Elder draws and loses 2 from Sheldred. Still no lands found, so he casts an Arbor Elf and now passes, holding some removal for Sheldred, hoping to fire that wheel soon. Rodrigo draws and loses 2 more life from Sheldred. He plays a Vault of Champions and casts his Serra Ascendant, as nothing much more than fodder for his Culling the Weak, as his life total is now too low. He just passes, holding some interaction. Diogo draws and loses 2 from Sheldred, and at this point everyone is pretty annoyed about them already. He plays Bal's Mikokoro and then casts his Mana Vault, triggering Sentinel and happily not paying. He casts his commander Tor Wauki the Younger and then passes. In his end step still, Bal casts a Limdol's Vault, triggering Sentinel and not paying, so Rodrigo loses 2 more life. In response, Elder casts an Assassin's Trophy on Bal's Sheldred, triggering Sentinel again, unable to pay, so Rodrigo loses 2 more life. Bal responds with a miscast on the trophy, but now it's Diogo who is also interested in the matter and fires a Pyroblast on the miscast, triggering Tor Wauki and pointing 2 damage towards Elas il-Kor, regaining 2 life. Elas il-Kor dies and Rodrigo lets them stay in the graveyard. Still, before Bal has a basic land, Rodrigo fires a Vampiric Tutor and finds an Entomb to the top. Bal searches for an island and resolves his Limdol's Vault. He only repeats it once, losing 1 life and goes to his turn. He rolls and takes 3 from the Crypt. He casts his commander Ramses Assassin Lord and passes the turn. Elder finally finds his land, a bayou. Since Rodrigo tutors something to the top, he casts his Wheel of Fortune, triggering Sentinel and not paying, hoping to deny Rodrigo the tutor. However, as Rodrigo draws the Entomb, he casts it in response, and finds Abdel Adrian Gorian's Ward. He still responds by casting his Culling the Weak, sacrificing his Serra Ascendant for 4 black mana, which he uses to flash in his Necromancy, triggering to return Abdel to play. It enters and triggers to blink any number of other non-land permanents he controls. But in response to this, Elder fires his Cyclonic Rift at Abdel, which in turn prompts the Necromancy to be sacrificed. We're back to the wheel, and Bal casts a You Come to a River, targeting Tor Wauki to be bounced to Diogo's hand, as he had hinted that he was considering removing Bal's commander. In response to this, Diogo cracks his LED for triple red mana and activates Mikokoro, hoping to find another red blast, but he finds none, so Tor Wauki is bounced and the wheel finally resolves. With no further actions, we're back to Rodrigo's turn. He plays a Bloodstained Mire and cracks it for his swamp. He casts a Chrome Mox and imprints a Priest of Forgotten Gods. He then casts a Talisman of Hierarchy and follows it with a Lurrus of Dream Den. This way, he's able to cast Dance of the Dead from his graveyard, enchanting his Abdel and returning it to play, triggering to exile Dance of the Dead and the Talisman, which he taps for colorless mana, looping it an arbitrarily large amount of times for semi-infinite colorless mana and 1/1 white soldiers as well. He then taps the Talisman for 4 black and 1 white, paying 5 life, and in the last iteration of Abdel he also blinks Lurrus, so it becomes a new object. He now casts a Razaketh the Foul-Blooded. He sacrifices one of the infinite soldiers to search for a Mox Opal, and sacrifices another soldier to search for a Sevin's Reclamation. He casts the Mox Opal and follows it with the Sevin's Reclamation, targeting his commander Elas il-Kor. He then casts a Cathar's Commando and uses it to destroy his own Dance of the Dead, which he then recasts from the graveyard with Lurrus, to return Karen Feather, and this way he sacrifices enough soldiers to ping his opponents to death with Elas il-Kor. GG. This was a fairly short match, so he decided to play another one. Diogo won the dice roll, so he's going first again. He kept his first 7 with a Blood Crypt, Phyrexian Tower and Shatterskull Smashing for a possible 3rd land drop. Mana Vault for ramp and Entomb plus Vampiric Tutor can help him find Breach Lines or the missing Twin Flame to combo with Dualcaster Mage. Bal mulliganed once and kept a risky 1-lander with Exotic Orchard alone, hoping Diogo doesn't pass with a fetch land only. Mox Opal, Springleaf Drum and Dimir Signet for ramp can help get Hired Poisoner equipped with Sophie to start drawing some stuff. Diabolic 10 can help him find whatever he needs, if only a Windfall. Elder kept his first 7 with some more lands this time, Command Tower, Arid Mesa and Tropical Island. Gamble can be aimed at a Dockside or whatever he might need, and worst case scenario he has Eternal Witness to retrieve any entombed card. Elas il-Kor is his outlet and Fierce Guardianship for protection on the combo turn. Lastly, Rodrigo mulliganed once and found an Isolated Chapel, Godless Shrine and Command Beacon for lands, Giver of Runes to protect his combo pieces like Leonin Relic Warder. Cathar Commando can remove unwanted stacked pieces and Dark Confident for some card draw. Ready for round 2? Diogo starts his turn with an untapped Blood Crypt, paying 2 life. He casts his Mana Vault and passes. Bal top decks nicely. He plays an Exotic Orchard, casts a Mox Opal and then casts the drawn Chrome Mox, imprinting Diabolic Intent. He casts a Springleaf Drum and follows it with Hired Poisoner. Not yet done, he casts a Dimir Signet and passes with Sword at his hand. Elder is really pleased with the view as he plays a Command Tower and casts a Gamble, which everyone knows it's aimed at a Dockside Extortionist. He randomly discards an Arid Mesa and passes. Rodrigo plays an untapped Godless Shrine, paying 2 life, and casts a Giver of Runes, also passing. Diogo untaps, and on his upkeep he casts his Vampiric Tutor, also searching for his Dockside Extortionist. He draws it, plays a Shatterskull the Hammer Pass, paying 3 life to come untapped, and casts the Dockside, entering play and creating 4 treasures. He cracks some to cast his Commander Wauki and passes. Bal wants a land, but he finds something as good. He casts his Commander Ramses Assassin Lord and passes the turn. Elder plays a Tropical Island and casts his Dockside Extortionist. It resolves, and in response to the ETB trigger, Diogo cracks his treasure for black mana and Elder creates 5 treasures. Having noticed this is not enough for the Bearing Loop, Elder casts his Eternal Witness, entering play and returning Gamble to his hand, which he recasts to find Timur Sabertooth, as this loop requires less artifacts created by the Dockside. He randomly discards a Praetor's Grasp, and as he attempts to pass, Diogo uses his floating mana to cast an Entomb, triggering Tor Wauki to deal 2 damage to Elder's Dockside Extortionist and gaining 2 life, hoping to delay any plans of looping it. He entombs a Peer into the Abyss, as he doesn't want to draw it, and we're back to Rodrigo. He plays an Isolated Chapel and casts a Dark Confidant, passing the turn. Diogo draws and actually takes 2 damage from the Mana Vault due to his own commander. He plays a Phyrexian Tower and casts 5 Reeses on his commander Tor Wauki, so now each instant or sorcery he casts will deal 2 poison damage at will. He attacks Eller with Tor Wauki and Eller doesn't block, taking 3 poison damage. He passes and on his end step Bal casts a Vampiric Tutor. He searches for Hatred and proceeds to his turn. He draws and jumps straight into combat, attacking Eller with Ramses. Since 3 poison damage didn't make him flinch, 4 commander damage shouldn't make him block, right? And he does indeed declare no blockers, so before damage Bal casts his Hatred on his Ramses, paying a whopping 22 life, considering Diogo could still try to cast an instant to deal poison damage to Ramses, reducing his attack by 2, or a dismember perhaps. No one has any answers though, so Eller does die to command the damage, which triggers Ramses, and therefore Bal wins the game. GG. Thank you for joining us for today's match everyone. Shoulder proved to be a good saxing piece, especially against early forms of wheels and Esper Sentinel, which is a mandatory draw. It still helped Rodrigo dig enough cards, which due to Luros didn't matter much they were discarded. The second game was mainly decided by the top deck Vampiric Tutor into the all-in Hatred. We'd like to start the credits by thanking our current patrons, and especially Izanagi, TJ Rap, Ajimu, Dragonhouse Cat, V, RJ, Heated Chill, Pina, Ricardo, Dragonstake, Katerina, Super Scaldi, Dog, Wyatt, Wicked, Zinan, Newgunsmith, and CJ Wally, our stack breakers. If you want to support us, you can do so by liking this video, subscribing, or by becoming a patron yourself. If you want to go through other Commander adventures, click one of the videos on the right. If you want to talk with us about our games or other EDH related matters, join us on Discord. Join us again next week for a new set of commanders and more decisive plays. See you all then.